unique thing about EqualExchange is that we're a worker-owned co-op. And then when you connect that with the farmer side, which is radically different in terms of the farmers in this model owning their own land and actually owning part of the export company and co-owning the whole distribution side with EqualExchange, right? You have a network and a partnership where the people doing the work, the farmers down there, and also the worker owners at EqualExchange have a voice in the say of what happens not only with the product but with the profits, right? So contrast that with sort of the traditional corporate model, whether it's a publicly traded company. Those models are based on, you know, who has the most shares, has the most power. EqualExchange has been around over 23 years. I've been involved in sort of fair trade and small farmer work about 13 years now, so I've been with EqualExchange over 3 years. This is a more equitable model where people down in Ecuador, for example, have traditionally been oppressed and had very little say and very little hope in what they do through cooperatives and through this supply chain trying to give them access to the market. They now have a different way of looking at the world and a different say in what's going to happen for their livelihoods.
What consumers know as fair trade in the U.S. basically was pioneered by EqualExchange back in 1986. So before label, before everything else, that's when it was started. And so as a worker-owned co-op, now we've grown to not only expand the amount of people and availability of our product, but we've also expanded our product line from coffee, tea, chocolate, and now bananas. So. I worked in natural food co-ops for a few years, and even prior to that I had followed and supported EqualExchange products and always wanted to work for them because of their ownership structure, being a worker-owned cooperative and basically because it's a fair trade organization. And so I always wanted to work for them. I started working at EqualExchange about 3 years ago when EqualExchange opened up a Midwest office here in Minneapolis. Because we're a worker-owned co-op, anyone that starts working for EqualExchange basically has the opportunity to after a year become a worker owner of the co-op. So being in the Midwest centers me right where most of the co-ops, the biggest support for EqualExchange's banana program is here in the Midwest because of the amount of food co-ops around this area. And so it centers me more in a role to create a really strong program along with the food co-ops that support this project.
Partnership with EqualExchange goes back quite a few years, where we've grown the business now to bringing in approximately 2 loads to 2.5 loads of bananas every week. Half fair trade, half just regular organics. The way they handle their fruit from the get-go in Ecuador to getting it to the boats on the East Coast to getting it here, always know we're dealing with fresh green fruit, where some of the other companies I think in town, generally are buying fruit and maybe it's being held on the East Coast and not knowing how long it's old it is and when it's getting here. The people can feel really good about their experience from the banana, from the start to the end. They know that they're helping out maybe a poorer area of the world, and at the same time they're getting a quality product at the end because the people that are involved at the beginning of the process take great pride in what they do.